Well, hello and welcome to the live stream of Mental Shift. My name is Michelle Moross, and if you're on my page, you already know who I am. If you are listening on YouTube, great. Someone shared it with you and you're figuring out who I am. Mental Shift is a program that actually started off as a radio show, and it was called Conversations with Michelle. And in each episode, I would have a business person come in, and I went, you know what? In every instance, someone went from one place, had a mental shift, and then became something else where they were giving back and living their passion, living what they've always wanted to do, stopped playing small and started living to who they were. So when I left the radio station, I decided to go into a podcast, and we called it Mental Shift because I like to share the mental shift that people experience so that we can help other people who are lost in playing small realize that every shift comes in different shapes, colors, varieties, and it can be your shift, personally yours. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's. So today I have a very wonderful man. I mean, I met him on accident, really. He reached out to me and asked me for coffee a couple months ago. And I walked in and he smiled, lit up the room. And I went, okay, whoever he is, whatever he does, his magnetism is just freaking phenomenal. And I will talk to him. I want to know him. And as we sat and talked, I said, the world needs to know more about this man. So please welcome my new friend, Quinton Blanche.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for that wonderful introduction. You are such a radiant light of energy and joy. So I'm just glad to be here. I'm honored to be here. And I can't wait to just have a conversation with you and, see if we can add value and hopefully inspire some people for sure. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, and the whole thing about it is you're saying that I'm, the energy and thing. That's what I felt from you. Look, we both have the same big old smile. It's like we need to share this positivity. So, Quinton, where were you? What did you do before you became this entrepreneurial? I call you the embodiment of joy and world traveler, and you're a music artist. What brought you? Where were you? Are you from Colorado?
Yes, native, born and raised. My family's actually from Louisiana. My father moved out to Colorado some years ago, a while back, and just loved Colorado so much and decided, hey, I want to raise a family here. And so I was born here, have a little sister as well. And, I always joke and, I like that fun. I'm always being myself. But my parents were probably some of the first Black people to be in Colorado. So they kind of pioneered it for everyone else. And, I had like 3 Black friends growing up and I was one of them, so it was just how I was raised. I had great friends and I never really thought about the color of my skin. I just had great people around me. And Colorado Springs is a wonderful place. So that's where I'm from, for sure.
That's phenomenal. I mean, I have a little story about that too. My neighbors across the street, when we bought our houses, I'm sorry, Ron and Bianca. When we were looking at houses, I met Ron in the model home.
Okay.
Black man, beautiful Black woman wife, right? And we're sitting there talking. And he asked, where are you moving? And I told him where I was living. So we walked down, we looked at where my house was being built. Yeah. And the lady selling the houses said, the house across the street is for sale. And he went, we could be neighbors. and so when he said, they decided they wanted to take that house, we giggled and we're like, there goes the neighborhood.
Yeah, there goes, we coming.
And it was so funny because we were the only family of color in the whole neighborhood for years. And now it's not a big deal, but it was funny because we're like,
right. The diversity that happens over time,
Yeah, Colorado is an awesome town. Not that we're asking all of you to move out here. Don't.
Right. Oh man, that's a tough one.
So you're a native Coloradan.
Yes.
And you are I stalked you on your Facebook page. You've traveled a lot. Where have you gone? What do you do?
Man, so I decided to get in the travel business some years ago, and that honestly has been one of the best decisions of my life. And I wanted to make traveling my lifestyle. I'm really big into music. I played sports growing up, and my dream, honestly, I love Michael Jordan. He's my idol, one of my idols in life, and so I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be like Mike. Well, he played basketball. So, growing up, I always played sports. I ran track, played football, played basketball. I'm not the tallest guy, so I always had to be faster and jump higher. And so I just took that mindset and applied it to my life. And, basketball didn't work out for me because of my size and just my stature. I decided to focus on football. I got a couple of major concussions playing football. And I decided I'm not going to finish that out. But I always had that drive. And my dream was, if I could be like Mike, I can travel the world. I can have that dream lifestyle. And, becoming an entrepreneur, and I know, Michelle, it's a journey. It's, there's highs, there's lows. And so I've been able to apply that competitive mindset and just perseverance to my business. And so traveling has really opened up the world to me, as far as, my endeavors, my passions. I want to make music videos around the world. So I travel a lot. I mean, prior to everything that happened this year, with COVID and all this stuff going on, maybe a little bit of a break there. But now resuming that, I plan to be in Jamaica next year in March. So I'm excited for that. Probably make some music videos or something like that out there. And but yeah, traveling, I've always had this dream of seeing the world and being able to live my passions while I'm doing that.
Wow. I don't know where else to go with you because there's so many places I can go and I don't know how far I want to dig in yet or pull.
Do you want to go to Spain? Do you want to go to Fiji? I don't know. There's so many places.
I want to go to Bora Bora.
Bora Bora's on the list.
Right now, I was supposed to be in Provence, France at the Lavender Festival. Wow. I was supposed to be in France to Spain for this month, the whole month of August. And we had to stop all that. So I'm waiting.
You're ready. Yeah. I hear you.
Those of you who have joined us, thank you for joining us live. Please like, share, comment. If Quinton says something and you have a comment about that and you want to ask him more questions, please do, because I can see them. And he'll answer them because he's like Johnny on the spot like that. Now, Quinton, where would be your dream destination to go to?
Right now, I would say Maldives. The Maldives.
Yeah.
For sure. And I would bring amazing friends and family with me on that trip. I'd probably want 100 of my friends and family on that trip and have those little sea bungalows where they, swim up in these little canoes and they bring in your breakfast and you can see the fish, through your room and resort. And yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, honestly, as I build my business, as I continue to grow over time, I'll probably be living multiple places around the world. So that would be definitely one of them for sure. The Maldives.
Maldives. Is Maldives or Maldives?
I'm not sure. You know how that works. I think it's
Maldives. Tomato. We all know what it is. Bungalows on the water, gorgeous white sands.
Yes, beautiful place.
Well, and I mean, you say the same thing. We dream big. If you're going to dream, you might as well dream big, right? Sure. And when I met you, not only are you a sharp dressed man, and there's just this, what's that class about you? That when you say I'm going to have multiple places around the world and live and travel, I believe it. And that's why I wanted you to come live, because I wanted people to feel and see the energy that is Quinton, because there's going to be a major shift happening in the next 12 months in your life that people are going to know you. Now, I got to ask, where'd you get the name Quinton?
Oh man, you're gonna have to ask my parents about that one. I mean, so let me tell the story since we're getting kind of personal. So I'm the oldest and I have a younger sister, and my name's Quinton. Her name's Ashton. So they wanted TON on the back of the names. So, and unique names. And Quinton and my last name is actually French. My family's from Louisiana. So there's some connection there. I'll probably do more research on that. But my mom, when she was pregnant with me, I think she was probably 4.5 months pregnant, 5 months pregnant. And she actually started going to labor with me. Oh. And I probably wouldn't have made it back then for sure. That would have been really premature. So they went to the hospital and the doctor, the nurse checked them in and they just thought it was like some stomach pains and something's going on, but be cool. Then a nurse came by and started asking my mom, what's going on? I see you're uncomfortable. And then she explained what was happening. She said, ma'am, you're about to go into labor. So we need to keep this kid in the microwave essentially, because he's going to be coming too early. So they were able to keep her, me and her safe. They kept me, for a few more months, and I wasn't born premature. Now, even at that time, I think I wasn't going to make it if I was born at that time. Oh, no. And so the way I see it is like, I feel like God has a plan for my life, and my parents wanted to make me somebody unique. And Quinton's just, I feel like Quinton. I feel like Q. That's who I am. And, another point, I met another gentleman recently named Quinton. He spelled his name a little differently than mine, but he was honestly a jerk.
Oh,
He was a jerk. I was like, man, you're making me look bad, homie. You're making me. What are you talking about, man? We're supposed to be Quintons. We're
that's an
supposed to
elite name.
exactly. Like we're supposed to be, good people. And so, nobody's perfect, but I just didn't like his attitude. And it made me realize that much more like how I can be Quinton and give my name, something worth meaning, that name. Give it something to be, honored by, proud of, and, to bring great things to that name. So I love the name Quinton and Q. So that's all of my parents. I appreciate them for that.
It's a lovely name, and it's a star name.
Thank you.
Because I always laugh, I'm the next, the Blasian Oprah Ellen,
Oh
yeah. So I'm like, Michelle
yeah.
doesn't have enough of a kick, but my maiden name is Guichard. So Guichard. My father is from Louisiana. So I have a French name too. And I always think, maybe I should have, used my name, my maiden name.
Right.
Guichard is far more exotic than Maras.
It is. It's very unique. Gives a lot of a style to it.
Yeah. Growing up, people used to call me, Gucci. Gucci. I'm like, well, that doesn't work. Yeah. So having the name Quinton is just, exotically lovely.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He's like, Michelle, you're getting personal. I don't even know where you're going, lady. Okay. Here's the other thing. Since you have a star name, you are a musician. What kind of music do you create?
Man, R&B, definitely. I'm a singer-songwriter, playing guitar, really, really honing my skills as a musician. I've loved music since, I was so little. My mom's a singer. She sang in church. She played piano, and she taught me a little bit, gave me the basis, and so I picked up the ear from her. And my father loves the R&B jams. Joe, Isley Brothers, Frankie Beverly and Maze, The Temptations. And then, of course, that led into like me hearing Usher, Neo, Trey Songz, shoot, even Justin Timberlake and, like NSYNC back in the day. I remember we would get down to that stuff. So that's where a lot of it's inspired. Of course, Michael Jackson, as far as being a performer. And even as a little kid, I would watch music videos and the choreography, and I would just dance. So I knew like I loved that aspect of music. And it wasn't honestly until maybe about 2 years ago that I had the confidence in my ability to be a musician that people would like to listen to my music. Before that, speaking in public or singing in public, having that confidence, having that bravado, knowing your voice and being able to hone that voice, it took me years to get to the point where I'm like, oh yes, this is music that can be shared with others. This is me. And to find your voice, it took me time, but with music, I have huge dreams with that. Working on an EP right now. And I'm writing a lot. I'm writing a lot of music right now, and I'm producing with a good friend of mine. He's also a wonderful musician, and connecting with other musicians. And with the internet, you can really build your brand.
Oh, big time.
And so really start to find people who would vibe with your music and who just really can relate and have that energy just kind of, resonates with them. And so, yeah, building it that way. But ultimately, long term, I want to travel the world, and I want to be on a stage performing in front of 50,000 people, 100,000 people, great R&B dance music, and have a blast with that.
Let's do it. I'm joining.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
Brian says duet time.
There's some great songs.
No, Brian does the Denim and Pearl podcast with me on Fridays. We go live on Fridays. Okay. And he always giggles. He always laughs at me because he's like, what are you going to sing today? Because every time in the podcast, somewhere in there, I'll break out into some song that is part of a sentence that he's just said. So
we just start singing.
Yeah, it doesn't just come natural to you.
It does. The more you do it, yeah, it's a gift from God. It's a gift from God, and it's meant to be harmonious.
Okay, well then I'm going to pick on you. Sing something, anything.
Let's see. Okay. Girl, I want you more, and girl, I know I need you, and I yearn for more, and girl, I can't wait to dance the night away. Girl, how about we?
Dang. Okay. I can't wait for that EP to come out. And Brian's on, but he's just said, finding your voice. Here's the thing, Quinton, you've got a beautiful voice. You have a beautiful, your personality, your energy, everything about you you accept you as who you are, and you don't hide from yourself. And that's something as a coach that I'm always sharing to people is be you, be unapologetically you. And the people who don't want to be around you, it's okay. Step away.
Right.
And what I like to train though, as a speaker coach is communication is mostly body language.
Completely.
Yep. It's completely. Like 89% body language. And as a Toastmaster, we're both Toastmasters. We do speaking stuff, but it's 89% body language. And so when you come in confident,
right?
Think of all the singers you know, you're like, how in the world do they have an album? Their voice is horrible. There's a stage presence about them, right?
Right. I mean, they have this demeanor.
Yeah, there are famous singers where they're basically just talking and with music behind them. And you're like,
right.
People are following them because there's a presence about them. Their energy, their body language sells it first.
Now, for sure.
Ooh, Angela's.
Can I share something since you brought that up that comes to mind? And so as I've gone through the music journey and making those connections, people come to mind, and you meet people, and some people are from LA, New York, Atlanta, big music places, Tennessee. And I had this gentleman come up to me one time, and I hadn't sang a song or anything, but we just met. I think it was a Toastmasters event. I did an evaluation for someone. So I spoke for a couple minutes, and then he came up to me after and he says, "Hey, excuse me, sir, have you been to LA?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been to LA before. I've been out there for some stuff, for some projects, and for our company." He's like, "Man, you got the look. You got the look." And he was the first person to tell me that. I didn't know exactly what he meant at that time. And then I started learning more about music and hearing artists that have great talent, then hearing artists that they're not too talented, but they got this look. They got this charisma.
It's an it factor.
It is. And it's hard. I don't know if you can teach it. It's just like allowing yourself to shine as a person who's not afraid to be out there in the spotlight, to be someone who's leading. And that's just stuck with me so much more, to where it's not just the look for me. Like, I'm just being myself, but it's more so
unapologetically you.
Exactly. You have to be. You have to be. And I've learned over the years too to share your hard times in that journey, because then people know, like, man, you're gifted, but you're human too. You're not somebody I can't become my best self. So hopefully it can inspire people. Like, find your look. Find your look.
And that's the magic of stepping into unapologetically you. If more people were able to stop focusing on what they're not and what they can't do, and start concentrating on the things that they're very good and the things that they can amplify and make better, the world would, one, be a better place, and two, you wouldn't have to worry about that. What am I? Who am I? No, I am.
Exactly. I am.
And
I am that I am.
Everyone else. And that's okay. And that's the other thing about you. It's that look. It's that there's a confidence level that it exudes out of you. I did a Toastmaster conference breakout session when it was out in Denver, and I did a breakout session on amplifying your magnetism. And it's basically getting oomph out of you, and trained a group of like 600 plus people in that room, and you could see the change in how they walked in the room to how they walked out of the room.
Right.
Just a little bit of coaching, you can get people to another level that they can.
Sure.
So they can draw the people they're after, be it in business, a love interest, whatever. And it's a confidence factor.
It is.
I was told the same thing when I went to India. When I went to the Women's Economic Forum in India to accept an award, I got stopped by a man from Hong Kong, and he said, "Excuse me, young lady." I said, "Yes." He has nice voice. I said, "Thank you." Yes. "Have you been to LA?" And I said, "No, I kind of avoid kind of feeling like the plague. Why?" And he has, "I want you to meet a music producer. You've got a voice." to make songs out of your story, out of your life, and you should sing them. And that was just from me playing on stage. You know, I think I was on a panel or something, and
Yes.
someone made the comment about, we're family. And I went, we are family. I got all my sisters with me. And everyone started getting up and dancing. We're all singing. And then that's what he got me for his, you've got
because you have this.
Yeah, you've got this. And so when you find that, it's time, it's not a time to shy away from it.
No.
It's a time to take it in and say, how do I grow this into a bigger flower that I can, grow and spread this to other people so other people can be uplifted and find their way too.
Exactly.
Wow.
Michelle, I hear everything you're saying. I resonate with it 100%. I believe life is a stage to perform on, and everywhere you go, it's a performance.
Yes.
It's a performance. So do you show up? That's the question.
Yeah. Was one of our Toastmaster winners from, I just forgot his name. I can see him. He says, stage time, stage time, stage time.
Yes.
Everything is a stage. So you show up, play on your best game, even when you're having a bad day. It's okay. You can have a bad day, but pick yourself back up, because the world is a stage.
Yep. The world is a stage. And it's quite the stage, in my opinion, honestly.
It's a lovely stage. Even when the lights go out sometimes and you trip going up the stairs, it's still a stage.
Oh, man. That's when you pull out the ninja moves.
Yeah.
That's the Blasian, right? That's the Blasian.
The Blasian in me pulls up.
I'm a Blasian too. Oh, man. I'm going to move to Japan and I'll probably just live there. So
I keep saying I want to buy an island somewhere near the Maldives.
Okay.
I need water and sand in my feet,
Oh, that's my happy place. That's exactly my happy place for sure.
So you have an EP coming out. You've got multiple songs. I mean, what inspires you to write songs?
It's a hearing thing. It's a feeling thing. And the more you do it, the more it comes to you. And I love listening to other artists and just singing their songs, and you get so inspired, and then you start writing something. And for me, I just hear something. I might be at coffee with a friend, or I might have just woken up in the morning and all of a sudden I hear this song and I capture it immediately. Because don't trust your memory, especially when it comes to music. It'll leave, So like one time I'm at a coffee shop with a friend and there's a song playing and I start hearing this other song and I'm like, excuse me one sec. I go to the bathroom and I just record something real quick so I can revisit that later. And then I start, hashing that out, embellishing the song, and also collaborate with other good artists, man. I have a good friend named Jay Ty. That's his artist name. His name's Adrian Bennett. Wonderful friend of mine. Producer as well. He's building an EP. We're, featuring each other on some tracks, and he's really out there just learning and honing his craft. But we'll collab and we'll come up with like, dude, that's amazing. Let's make this song right here. And so the more you get around people who are creative, and also too, it's hard to write music when you're not emotional or inspired. And so, for me, I've had a recent, chain of events that happened in my life and some challenges this year. 2020 has definitely presented challenges. It's helped me grow tremendously as a person. And that's what's helped me really refine my music as an artist, find who I am. And the first song there's a few songs, but one of them is called Heart Speak. And I went through a breakup this year. And that tends to be, something that can inspire you or make something happen inside of you emotionally. And so I just was like, I'm going to write. I'm going to make music. I started listening to beats and I just start writing. I improv. And the more you do it, the better you get. And then you get to the point where you believe in yourself. You believe in your confidence. You believe in your gift. You got to get to that point. And so for me, the writing of the music, the coming up with it, even after this, I'll probably write some stuff to a track I'm working on right now. And tonight I'll be with my friend Adrian, and we got one song we're fully finalizing. We're going to add, finish that. And then we're bringing out the next one. And it'll probably be 8 or 9 songs that will release next 30, 60, 90 days is the plan. And then people can start to hear the type of music. And then I'll release my full self, production, full original within the next 12, 16 months.
Okay, Quinton, if you ever need a backup vocal.
Yeah, heck yeah. Oh, we still got this happy song we need to make.
Yes. Okay. The other thing that all of you don't know. Oh, Kelly says she loves this. Thank you, Kelly.
Oh,
Well,
Kelly's
what you
awesome.
don't know is Quinton. I talked to him a couple of weeks ago and said, Quinton, I need a stage song for me to enter the stage, and I want something R&B kind of up because I like to come up like that. I said, can you write me one? So
I have a beat in mind. I found one actually about a week ago, and I'm like, I think this is the vibe Michelle's going for. So, yeah. You put it
yes,
out there. You planted the seed. So,
I'm excited. Well, remember, backup vocal. I love to sing, and I've never really let out that I can
oh,
sing, because you can't really sing on a podcast
right,
mic, that kind of thing.
right.
Yeah. So no one knows what I really can do.
Right. Until you hang out, and then boom, we go out. We're karaoke, having a good time, making music. Yes.
Well, the thing is with the karaoke, you're holding back too because you're playing someone else's song, right? So
Right.
it's
Your
someone
own.
else's
Yeah.
rhythm.
Your
Yeah.
own.
But I'm standing in
Exactly.
my living room in my vaulted ceilings. I'm just belting. But I'm a Natalie Cole fan. I like
Okay.
Natalie Cole and
Okay.
Aretha and that genre.
Of
It's my
course.
voice line.
Yep.
So,
That's who you that's who you love, that's who you resonate with. Your voice can, you love singing their songs, you love their vibe.
well, of course, Michael Jackson, because growing up,
Oh,
I thought I was a female Michael Jackson. So
hey, I have no problem with that. You moonwalking?
I did.
Oh heck. Michael, some of my dance moves, they definitely like Michael Jackson inspired all that. So
Oh no, my whole family. There were 6 of us, and we were supposed to be the new Jackson 5, and I was Michael.
the Jackson 6, the Jackson 6.
It'll be the Gashard 6, is what it was.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, my brothers and my sister would do Michelle sing, and they'd push me out forward. And
Oh man, and you're just out there being a star.
yeah, and I was like, I love the stage. I always loved being in front, and
For sure.
and then when I got into my teens, I got scared, and I didn't want to be up front anymore. And so, trying to fighting who you really naturally are is a problem that a lot of people have. So many, often we, as young people, we find what we are really good at, what we're passionate is, and then something happens in our lives that we do, and we pull back.
Right.
So I pulled back, and I pulled back from when I was like 18, I think, to about 45 when I had my car accident. So
Wow.
I spent a very long time of my life hiding from being authentically me. Yeah. So when I met you, and what are you, like 31-ish?
Mm-hmm.
See, 31-ish, and you were like out there and happy and standing in who you are and having a vision for your future. And I went, yes. Oh my gosh, you're just phenomenal. And I can't wait to track you and buy your EP and go to the concert and be screaming in the audience. I mean, it'll be awesome.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I picture it every day. I do.
You should, because it's there. And what's even neat about that is not only are you a musician, but you're an excellent speaker. And think about that. How many musicians can actually go up to a mic to accept an award and they do, I like to think, right?
Well,
Yay, Toastmasters.
Yes. And that's all about the stage and performance and just having that presence on stage. And, the more you practice, the better you get. And I practice all the time. So.
Mm-hmm. And now actually with speeches, I do the same thing you do with music.
Yes.
I'll be in the middle of a conversation. I'll do just one sec, and I'll put something in my phone, and then I'll go to the restroom and I'll do da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then I'll save it, and then I'll work on that, whatever that topic was, for quite a while. And do, now I got it, and then I'll put it verbally. I don't write it. I speak it. And that way I can change the intonation and hear, what does that feel like? What does that sound like? And then I run it in my head so often that when I do it on stage, it looks natural. It looks like a natural movement because I've already moved it in my head.
You've done it so much. You've done it already. You've done it in your head over and over again. You've done it in person over and over again.
It's muscle memory for your body and your mind connected. And that's one of the things I do at the training for the speaking coaching that I do is you have to give your brain and your body that music, that mental connection, so that when you say certain words, your body moves a certain way. Same with music. The voice goes down at different points. Yeah.
You're making me feel like I need to turn on some music right now and just bust out some dance moves. So that's how it works. And it takes a lot of time and practice. But when you can, feel the music, feel your message, and you can move through your body that way. That's Michael Jackson. That's how I picture it. He was the best performer of all time, king of pop. When you watch him, you get emotional. There's something spiritual that happens to you. That's real music. That's real impact. And a lot of music's not like that today.
No. And that's why I wanted you on, because you are, I call you the embodiment of love and joy, but you move as music. And that's what I remember when you introduced yourself to me a couple of months ago. I didn't remember anything else but music, because you move like music. And it's a quality, it's a gift that, I train speakers on, is to find your passion, have that passion inside of you when you speak, and you will move the way you need to speak.
Sure.
For that talk. It's the same with music. You can go up and then, sing row, row, row your boat. But if there's something going through your mind, it's row, row, row your boat. I mean, it's something else.
Yep. It's like you give it a whole flavor. You give it some style.
It gives it your style.
It's you. It's your energy.
And so when people say, "Oh, I memorized that speech," I do. Don't do that.
No,
don't memorize it.
It's the speech.
Embody.
Be the speech. Be your message.
Be it. And then people do, "Wow, I heard that speech and you were talking and I was moved to tears." Why? Right? Because you were feeling the energy from me coming to you, because I felt it.
Right.
Same with music. Oh,
yep.
I love it.
It's all emotional. It's all energy, man. That's what makes life a joy, is the things that it's the contrast, the highs and the lows. And music's the same way. It's the high notes, it's the low notes. And when they mix in, you got a beautiful song. Just like
and you said something earlier that 2020 was kind of a rough. You had a breakup, and it helped fuel your music. I have a meme out there that I created a couple of years ago when I was going through breast cancer, and I wrote, "When the world gives you fertilizer, it's time to plant."
Hell yeah. That's oh man, it's getting your hands dirty, but hey, it's gonna be a beautiful thing when this comes to fruition.
It'll be a very strong plant. So when
oh man, you're telling me.
Right? You better do something with that fertilizer instead of, thinking it stinks and hating it and being miserable with it. You can cultivate something powerful that you never had the fuel for before. And just like you said, that emotion is a fuel that you are using now for your music. So for those of you out there listening and watching, this is Quinton Blanche. When you have bad things happen, bad, I say bad in quotes, because sometimes the bad are shutting doors on things that you weren't supposed to be there for anyways, so that you will open your eyes to see what's coming in front of you. So take that manure, plant a seed, because seeds grow in the darkness.
They do.
They have to go in the darkness before they break into the light. So darkness, light, let it grow.
Part of life. Part of life. And that's my life. There's been 9 years of planting seeds.
Oh, you're going to be planting plenty of seeds, baby. Don't worry about that.
Oh, man.
So you've got plenty of seeds. I'm 52. And Angela says, amen to bad. Bad things. Bad things.
Oh, man.
But yeah, he's like, "Oh, Michelle, why'd you do that?" But
oh, man, I'm blushing. But you can't see it. It's all good. I can hide it.
But that's the magic of living a life of joy. Joy does not come from outside sources. Joy comes from within.
Yep.
Love does not come from outside sources. Love comes from within. Now, when you love yourself, when you have joy of who you are, where you are, and what you can be, what you need in the world will come to you. But if you're seeking fulfillment from outside, you're going to live a very lonely life.
Yep, it's found within.
Look in.
Don't forget to remind me to tell a story, because it's right on topic with what you're saying.
Say it right now. I have a brain. Forget.
Okay. It's one of my favorite stories that's changed my life. I think about the story all the time. Well, when God was creating the heavens and the earth, he had finished creating everything, and it was all good. And he had 3 helpers, and God was trying to think of where to place happiness and success. And he went to his first helper, who was very bright, and asked the helper, "Where should we place happiness and success?" And the helper thought for a second, "Maybe we'll place it in the depths of the ocean, because no man or woman will ever swim to the ocean and find happiness and success." Now, for me, Michelle, I love the ocean, but this brother, I don't know if I'm going to the depths of the ocean. I don't know if I would have went there, but somebody eventually would go there and find happiness and success. So God said, that's a great idea, but let me ask the second helper. Second helper says, how about you place happiness and success at the tallest mountain peak in the world? Because no man or woman will ever climb there and find happiness and success. And God thought for a second, that's a good idea, but I made man determined. I gave them perseverance. I gave them tenacity, and eventually they'll find it. And so the third helper, who was the most bright, he said, God, how about we place happiness and success inside of man? Because they'll never think to look for it there. And see, my life, when I heard that, I said, if I want to change what's around me, I need to change what's inside me first. And that's how I've become who I am today, and I will continue to.
Amen. Amen to that. Now, and I that's beautiful. It took me to 45 years old to figure that out. Now, if you watch my old videos, I showed you those things, right?
Right.
The
Yeah.
videos of me.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
a transformed human.
Completely.
And it wasn't that I went out to the gym and started doing. No, it was
Right.
more of a mental state of accepting who I really was, and I had to stop comparing myself to other people. It was a mind game of myself, between me, myself, and I. And once I realized I'd been hiding from myself, I was hiding from who I really was, and the reason I was so miserable because I wasn't allowing myself to be who I truly unapologetically am. And
Right.
you know what? If you don't like me, fine. I'm going to smile and keep going. If you're going to
whatever.
throw stones at me, I'm going to put them in front of me and I'm going to use them as a staircase to get to the next level. But
Exactly.
I'm going to be me. And once I started being me, everything shifted. My mental shift became a physical, mental transformation about everything. I am not the same human I was before that car hit me in 2000.
Man.
But
And that's inspiring. That's inspiring.
But it's finding that inside of us.
Yep.
We walk around in a fog so often, and so much in our youth we compare ourselves to other people and looking at Instagram and Facebook and thinking everybody else has a better life than you, and you're looking and looking and looking, that you never look in.
Right.
But
what's the world inside?
Once you start looking inside, the world will transform for you.
Completely. That works with everything in life, in my opinion.
It is, and you're going to be bringing music to the world and helping people feel that, because your love, your joy will go through your music and go into other people. It's beautiful.
Hey, I love making music. I am never not having fun making music. It is a fun thing. It's a fun process.
Well, Quinton, what would you like to share with our audience? What's that last bit of, I don't know, knowledge drop bomb that you want to give to the world? Mic drop. Oh, music. Mic drop that you'd like to give.
We live in interesting times. Charles Dickens once wrote, "It was the best of times and it was the worst of times." And I think that depends on where you're at in your life. And I know we've all go through it, best of times, worst of times. What you have to have for your future in order to move forward is you have to somehow create this vision that's compelling for your future. Because a lot of people use their past as a scornful manipulator, a scornful dictator, because they made mistakes back here in the past or things didn't go the way you expected it to. Trust me, I've been through some tough, and I'm not going to curse on this, but if I had, hanging out with my friends and I had a few drinks, I would certainly just it would come out how hard life can be sometimes. And I had to concede that, like, the adversity is too much to overcome. But inside every difficulty, every challenge, every single one, there's a seed of equal or greater benefit if you can find it. And it's all based on how we think, how we vibe, how we feel. And I have hard days because all of us are human. We all have hard days, but I know how to, I reach to God. I read my Bible. I hang out with people that believe in me. I listen to music. I start dancing. I exercise. I take care of my nutrition so I can be the most energetic version of myself that I can be, because I'm moving towards a compelling future. I'm moving towards something that is greater than what my past was. And my past is a teacher, so I can take more wisdom in the future. But here's my thought, Michelle. I am no longer waiting on time. If I have so much time to live, I'm getting the most from every day. And when I see that person I should talk to, I'm talking to that person. When it's time to do that business presentation, it's time to do that public speaking speech, it's time to do that educational moment, I'm showing up. Because life is short. And this year has made us, understand more of what we can be grateful for, how much time we need to be putting on our own self-worth and our own mentality and how we feel spiritually. One of the stories from, it's like a historical story. There's a gentleman named Odysseus, and he was selling the seas, right? And it took him 20 years from selling the seas, from leaving at the beginning of the journey to finally, as king, getting back home. And right before he was about to get home, his crewmen came down to his quarters, sliced open a bag that he was given from another person, and inside that bag, there was what was called adverse winds. And they were about to the dock at shore of their home after trekking the ocean for I don't know how long and going through as many challenges as you can imagine. Everything you could imagine that came against them. And right before they get home, the adverse winds swept them all the way back across the sea. And Odysseus, it would take him 20 years to finally get back home and claim his throne as king. Man, so my life, all of us, this year, there's been some adverse winds, but you can't fly without gravity. You can't fly without some headwind, right? You need something going against you so you can soar and be an eagle. Here's what I'll say.
Ooh, I like that.
This year is to be an eagle. You want to be an eagle, you want to fly, and of course, you want to build that Avengers crew, that team that can succeed, the people around you who believe in you. If you're dealing with chickens, and I'm going to be frank, Michelle, if you're dealing with chickens and you keep messing with chickens and you keep trying to get chickens to fly, you're eventually going to get chicken shit all over you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to help. So what you got to do? Surround yourself with eagles. You're an eagle. You're meant to fly. You have gifts that I do not. You have a message that can inspire people that I cannot reach. So my hope from my story is that people believe that they can become who they are designed to be as their best self, and that they can go out there and inspire, truly millions of people one day, if they can just step into their gift, focus on their future, and not be burdened by their past, but be built up and encouraged and empowered for their future. That would be what I have to say.
Yes. That was awesome. Mic drop.
Hey.
Thank you so much, Quinton. Now, I forgot to do this. So those of you who are watching, you're like, how do I find Quinton? Find him on Facebook. Because you want to track him, because his music's coming out, his EP's going to be out, and you want to be in the front line and say, you know what? I knew him when. Because in 12 months, he's going to be on a big old stage. They're going to open us up, and he's going to be on some stage singing. You're going to do, oh my gosh. I see it.
Thank you. Yep, my personal page, and there's a fan page too. I'll be updating the fan page, but my personal page is a great place to reach me at.
Okay, so your personal page will have the link to your fan page once you
get
it. Okay,
yep,
good.
exactly.
I want people to know how to find you, because you are a positive force in this world that more people need to hear. Your stories, your lessons, your future is so bright, and that's why I wanted to share you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. It has been an honor. I've had a ton of fun. And of course, anything, you can text me, call me. If you need help, if you want to be on the track, I'm working on that song for you. We're going to have a lot of good times to come in the future, Michelle. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you and all your leadership.
Thank you. And I appreciate you. And thank you for reaching out to me. If we never had that cup of coffee, we would not be doing this right now. We won't be doing singing together and having you write my song from my stage entrances and exits, right? Big things are coming, people. Big things are coming. Quinton and I do not dream small, and neither should you.
Right.
Big dreams. I want you to remember that, as Quinton said, we are all meant to be eagles. Stop hanging around with the chickens if that's what they want you to do. Don't let the crabs pull you back in the bucket. Be the best version of you and be unapologetic about it. Be you and find the joy that's waiting to be radiating out of you. So for those of you who are watching and have watched or watching the replay, if this has touched you and you see this message has got to be shared somehow, whatever, share it. Like it, share it, subscribe to the YouTube channel, find Quinton, connect with him. But if this message is also very important, you know someone in your life who needs to hear it, share it with that friend. Don't just say, here's the podcast or here's a face. Show them the link, tag them, and move it straight to their page so that they can also hear this message. The stories and the lessons that Quinton shared today are quite powerful. And they're the secrets to life I took to 45 to figure out. Okay. So save people the trip. Let them hear this podcast and help them up level sooner. Because you know the people in your life, when you heard this, said, oh, I really think Jane, or I really think Bob, or I really think, you know who it is. Share. So thank you for joining us. And Quinton, thank you for being awesome. Everyone, please like, subscribe, share. You can find everything I do on michellemoros.com. I've got a YouTube page too, so go do that. And remember, be unapologetically you. Have a fabulous week, everyone. And
until then, everybody.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.